There we go. Sorry, guys. Hello. I was responding to my mom. I just moved. I don't know where I put my arms. What I would kind of do is stream, give a bit of an update on me. Lose my vape apparently. What did I just do with it? I just had it. But also talking to my mom at the moment because oh, sorry, got distracted by my mom. How's it going? Yeah, thought I would kind of update and let everybody know what's up. Show my face. It's been a while. Um, but it's been a pretty kind of rough couple of weeks for me in a way. Um, we dealt with like my tube ended up buried in the abdominal wall. I had to get admitted and get that replaced, and that was causing a lot of pain for a couple of weeks. Um, without us knowing that it was causing pain. It's probably been causing pain for some issues for months, and we just didn't really know what it was going on. But yeah, so that got fixed. I got both of my tubes changed, and so um, interestingly enough, after my tube changes, I was able to start sleeping on my side again, which is really nice. That has not happened in a year, and I missed it. Sorry, I'm cold. It's only like 50 something degrees right now, so I'm cold. And I'm also Benadryl brained, right? Because I woke up to my dressing. Basically, I had scratched 90% of it off. So I had to do a dressing change today. But yeah, so I'm Benadryl brained out the ass, and this probably will not be a long live stream. But the other thing is that this week has been really rough in a different way, physically a little bit, but mentally a lot. Um, currently, I have no bowel control whatsoever. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, whether it's just that my system is out of whack from the tube thing or what, but I'm really currently not getting signals that I need to go to the bathroom at all. Um, or if I do, it's only seconds before the going happens. So I am just, that's a lot. Dealing with that's a lot. It's a lot different for me because I don't have a stop. I don't have a colon. So for a normal person with a colon, this might not be such a problem. But without having a colon, that means A, the acid is not absorbed out of the fecal matter, and B, its liquids in general are not absorbed out of. So when you have no colon, you have very loose stool. When you have no colon, you have very loose stool as it is. Add in, all the surgeries and stuff, and it's just really the it just makes it a lot harder to deal with because it's just A, it comes out so fast. Your diaper does not have time to absorb any of that. I've had blowouts where I had to wash all of my bedding. Um, and honestly, I haven't. pooped a few down the potty in a week. I said, hopefully in the toilet. Um, and the mental aspect to that has been really rough. Um, just, battling the thought of, is this permanent? Um, like, I've had bowel incontinence on and off for years, but I've had one singular situation where I kind of sort of had an accident in public. Um, and it was back years and years ago when I was still recovering from all my surgeries. And it was a very minor situation. But the way things are right now is basically every single time I go, it's like a blowout situation in my diaper. And that's really rough to manage on my own. I've had to shower like I think over the from so it's Tuesday today. So from Sunday to Monday, I had showered 5 times in 24 hours. Um, just because of the fact that I am really struggling with the POTS right now, and changing diapers is so hard on my body. Um, so it's easier to just take everything off, get in the shower, and clean up, and then totally. But mentally, that's been really hard on me. Physically, it's not fun either. Basically, I've got acid on my butt all the time, and it got to a point yesterday where, despite me using, I have a cream that I got from Hustle. It's like a barrier cream. Despite me using that at every change, I was raw and bleeding, and it's hurts so bad. Um, and my normal way of coping with something like this would be using more of like the little mode type of things, letting that kind of just ease the discomfort of the mental aspect of incontinence. Little side doesn't give a shit. Little side is like, that this is normal. you know Little side doesn't think about using the toilet, doesn't think about making it to the bathroom. Little side is just, yeah. So normally that would be my normal go-to, but there's just been a little bit of a, not an aversion to it, but I guess the best way to kind of go about things is that my little side doesn't really have much, doesn't feel like it's in a safe environment. And I've talked a little bit about this before. There's a lot of trauma that's been done to my little side because of Andrew and Hannah. And because whenever I'm in little mode, Hannah basically makes fun of it, and, it just mocks it. And it's just like, it's not a safe thing for me when that's going on. Um, so I haven't really allowed that to happen. And because I haven't allowed that to happen for a few months, it's just kind of pushing to the surface where it's getting harder to control little side more. But it's also really hard to just mentally go, okay, time to be little. Time to just let that happen. Time to use regression as a stress reliever. Um, that's been really hard to happen. And I know that's going to be a lot different once Chloe moves here. By the way, we are 37 days from Chloe moving in. Okay, guys, the Benadryl is hitting hard. Um, but yeah, it's just the last couple days I've just had breakdowns and meltdowns, and just crying because dealing with bowel incontinence is a lot. And if I was normal bowel, I'd go like maybe twice a day. No, I went through 5 diapers yesterday. Um, so it's been a really big mental burden, and it leaves me with the emotional side of it being like, dude, how can I put this on a partner? Um, because the last one reacted to it so poorly. It's like I feel horrible for putting this need on a partner, knowing that I'm going to have help with 90% of my changes if this continues is, you know, not not a place I've wanted to go to. And I can change myself. Don't get me wrong, I can do it, but it's extremely hard on my body because if I'm doing it myself, typically I would be like, it's hard to wipe yourself up. It's hard to get yourself all the way clean when you can't see it. And add in the being up and down triggers the pulse, and my heart rate has been through the roof the last few days as far as pops goes. I literally woke up and rolled over in bed the other day, and my heart rate shot up to probably about 120 from simply rolling over. Let alone getting up. Getting up was whew. But yeah, I'm just on the struggle bus with that aspect. I've had a lot of mental anguish from the bowel incontinence. Sorry, the dog. But I'm trying to be kind to myself. I've kind of said a lot of rough things in my brain to myself, a lot of mean things as of late. And I'm trying not to do that because really, this isn't something I'm choosing. This is literally my body's just like, yeah, no, we don't feel it right now. Um, I literally just, it's been so weird because normally it's like gurgle, gurgle. Oh, I feel the pressure. I need to go. No, it's just gurgle, gurgle, and then don't feel anything, you know. And typically, I'm not the type of person to like, as soon as my stomach starts gurgling, get up. But even when it has been, it's a situation where I get up and I just have to, I just have, farts and gas. And so it's like, I'll sit on the toilet and try to go and it's just gas. And it's like, okay, I guess I don't really have to go. And then, half hour later, I mess my pants. And it's like, seriously, I was just in the toilet. But I don't know what's the cause of it. If it keeps up, I will probably be talking to the doctor about it just so we can kind of maybe see about checking. uh, checking muscles and things like that if we need to. I mean, the reality of it is I have so much nerve damage in my body from all the surgeries that it's shocking that I have control or have had control. Um, at this point, my main desire is to make it so that it's a lot easier to manage by using bulking fibers and stuff like that. I tried taking Imodium to slow things down. It didn't work. Well, it slowed things down a little bit, but it didn't, that didn't change the incontinence, which tells me it's not just muscle and stuff, or not just the consistency, it's the muscle and the nerves, you know, currently just not having the greatest signal down there. So, which in the grand scheme of things is not a huge deal, but I am terrified about what will happen if it happens in public, especially if it happens in public before Chloe moves here. Um, because so I don't know. But I guess now I start like I've always been like I carry a diaper with me in a big backpack whenever I go anywhere, but we're gonna have to have a full on changing system. Not changing system, but like wipes, cream, gloves, bags, clothes. Um, because I've even had situations where I had a bowel movement. I get cleaned up and go to change and or go to shower or something, and I end up with poop or pee on the floor because my body's just like, hey, we weren't done yet. So I've had a blowout where it got all over me, my clothes, my bed. Like I literally had to change my entire bed just not yesterday, but the day before because I was asleep when I had a bowel movement and it was up my back and down my leg and it was bad. That one, I just sat down and cried with that one. Just like I'm done. I was just like I can't handle this, and just it was rough. Um, I am going to email my doctor here and if well my nutritionist here in a minute and ask her about what fiber mixtures I can put down my tube to help bulk things up. I don't know if I can do Metamucil, which has been my go-to um, for years before the gastroparesis, but I have to figure out something because I have to at least get the consistency under control so that we're not dealing with as much skin breakdown. Um, and but yeah, I will be addressing it with my doctor a little bit. I don't think there's anything we'll probably do about it because in the reality, in the grand scheme of things, I'm already bladder incontinent. I've had very little control of bowel. It takes a very big concentrated effort to keep that control. I have to be extremely aware of every feeling in my intestines or I will, not make it in time. Um, and that was, that's been how it has been for years. But currently, I don't really have an option. Um, it's just happening. So that's scary. I do have to also figure out the whole diaper situation too, because um, I am going through more of them. Normally, with my bladder, I change in the morning. I change, well, I change in the afternoon. I wake up, depending on when I wake up, I change when I wake up. And then a lot of times I change before bed. So there's days where I only use two diapers a day. Um, but right now, like yesterday, I had four messy diapers and one wet one. Well, I mean, the messy ones were wet too, but one that was just wet. So it's like I went through five diapers in a day. That's going to increase my amount of diapers I have to purchase every month. And I also now have to decide, okay, do I start using a daytime diaper, like a little lighter absorbency? Because with the way my bowels are, the diapers don't absorb what I have come out. So yeah, it's been such a nerve wracking situation for the last week. Um, you know, partner's been great about it. Even though I'm sitting here going, "Are you like you didn't sign up to change an adult's messy diapers several times a day? You shouldn't have to deal with that." And they're like, "Well, I'm your partner, and I will deal with that, and it doesn't bug me." But that just brings a whole other aspect to things. Now I also have to be thinking about, well, when they're at work, how am I going to manage this? Is this something I can continue to manage during the day on my own and they just help me when they're home? Or is this a thing that I'm going to have to let an aide start helping with when I go? You know? So, it says there was a chat, but I don't see it. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone. Why is my chat not showing up? About me, currently live streaming. No, there's no chat. Okay, I don't know why it said that. But it's kind of been my week. Currently, I'm just trying to get back into letting my coping skill of my little side handle things to some degree. Um, yeah, it's been real so hard right now. Oh my gosh. I knew it was going to be a tough one with that first dose. The first dose, if I do it early in the day, is really like it hits. So it means nap time soon. But yeah, that's what's been up with me. Hospital and fitness. But yeah, I have. I also have so many things to review right now. I have diaper reviews I need to do. I want to try the Pretend Again, or let's like it's from Pretend Again. I think it's called like I forget exactly what it's called, but there's a new diaper that isn't well, it's not a new diaper necessarily, but it's new in my size. And I hope to be able to try that one this coming month. It seems to be similar to Tykables, so I'm excited to try it. It is more expensive, I think. Let me double check that actually. Now that I'm saying that. Yeah. Um, let me see. Give me this, give me that. Oh, no, that's. Mm, yes. There are currently, yeah. For Tykables case of diapers, it's 230 for an 80 case. For a 80 case of the Pendigan, it's 270. So, but I want to say, I don't get to try diapers very often, but I want to try them. Um, and see how they are because they're adorable. If you haven't seen them, check out Pretend Again and their diapers. They're probably one of the cutest I've seen, quite honestly. But hmm, need to kind of suss out the lower level diapers. I know that Tykables has a couple. Um, I don't really fit in anything other than like Rears, some North Shore, and Tykables. Like I don't fit in anything from ABU really, except for their one peekaboos, and I don't personally like them. Mm. But sometimes you have to go for price over, you know, anything else. I'm hoping that I can just kind of bump it up to like calculating out for 4 diapers a day ish, 4 or 5 diapers a day. I'm really gonna pay attention over the next couple of days to how many diapers I use. Um, I think I'm gonna like not have a chart, but like do a tally to see how many diapers I use in a day and average that out for when I have to purchase diapers in the beginning of the month next month. But I certainly don't like this using fibers per day. Well, what bitch? Yeah. Other than that, I've been getting back to sewing a little bit. Um, I might sew later today if this Benadryl wears off a little bit. I'll nap first and then I'll do some see what's going on. Starting back up to hopefully sell 2D pad. Um, so yeah, I got my Cricut back out. I lost the power cord for it, so I got a new cord for that. maybe make some shirts here in the next few days. But yeah, by the way, like right now, it's a lot of just changing diapers. It's a lot of changing diapers and playing Minecraft. Um, I joined a new Discord server, and they have a Minecraft server. I have to get permission from the owner before I stream it for you guys, because they do, we are playing in a world together, and um, so it's not just me; it's other people too. So, not obviously won't have their voices all the time, but or at all, but they might be on there. I don't know if that's something that the owner would be cool with me streaming. But yeah, so if anybody have any questions or anything, feel free. How long have we been streaming? 26 minutes. If nobody has any questions or anything, I'll probably stream for like 5 more minutes ish. But before I go take a nap, all my buddies are sleeping currently right now, except for one of them, because most of my buddies are in like UK, Europe, and Australia, like the main people that I talk to. So all of them are currently like either sleeping or something like that. I know Chloe's sick, so she's probably taking a nap. Um, so it's kind of just lonely on me, and I'll probably just do a lot of TV watching and changing diapers today. I think I'm gonna get out my coloring stuff because I found my colored pencils and my markers. So I think I'm gonna pull out some coloring. Yeah. Any of you fellow diaper wearers out there who have suggestions for things like uh creams and stuff, let me know. I'm currently using a Balmex cream that Andrew had. I'm really sensitive to creams. Normally I would go for like butt paste or something like that. Or Desitin, and I'm just not reacting well to those lately. I mean, Desitin I have right up there. I haven't touched it in God knows how long. But I hate the smell of Desitin. It smells like fish. So I really try to avoid using that. But this Balmex one isn't too bad. Um, and Andrew can get that with his FSA account, so that's been nice. But it's like I need some heavy duty barrier cream that will actually protect, because even with putting a ton on, it's still just my body still it gets through still. So wait, so loopy. Yeah, yeah. My kitty cats are both napping. Need to clean my room really bad, but um, my way of cleaning my room is to sit on the floor and do that. But sitting has been a very painful thing the last few days, so I have not been doing much sitting. But so maybe after I nap, I'll record the tiny molder. I did record one, it didn't come out real well, so I need to record it again. Um, so see how that goes. But I have so many diapers I need to review. And I've really, really given them a test. I will say that much. They've gotten the test. Oh, and I've gone back to changing on the floor or to laying down to put diapers on because I was having so many issues with blowouts and leaking and stuff like that for the bowel movements that I had to. And it's really, really hard on my body to do that. Like the getting down and up process is not easy when I don't have help. But I've taken to doing it that way again. I used to only ever do it laying down. But when the pots hit, I couldn't do laying down changes very well because the up and down I would pass out. Right? And so I just did standing. and did very little bend down movement. Um, but now I'm back to it's really hard to put cream on standing up, so I have to lay down. And it has been giving me a lot better fit for the diapers. And I kind of started doing that yesterday, and noticed a huge difference in how it functions as far as keeping it contained. But right now, I'm even like looking at having to go and either make or buy like a diaper cover just so that we avoid leaks. Especially plastic pants. I can't stand them. I don't do well with tight around my legs like that, around my thighs. And a diaper is just enough that it's okay. But if you add another layer of it on there, it's just. But we'll see. We'll see. Um, just trying to get through it. Just trying to, mentally prepare for the fact that hey, this might be permanent. Not right now. She wanted me to know if wanted to know if I wanted to try orange chicken pizza bites. They have orange chicken pizza bites, and I'm not sure how it's gonna go. And my stomach is very cranky right now. I'm nauseous today, as reaction and stuff like that. But anyway, I think I'm gonna go ahead and close it up and go take a nap. Probably have to change my diaper after that, but such is life. Um, it's really annoying because the bowel movements do not coincide with when I actually need to change my diaper, so it's. But this is life of incontinence. This is why I always tell people, when people come to me and they're like, "You're so lucky, you're actually incontinent and have a reason to wear it." I wish I was incontinent, and this is the type. This is where I'm like, I would not ever choose this. Um, do I function? Yeah, but dude, this week has been so mentally awful as far as that goes, and I am not lucky that I'm dealing with this. I would never wish this on anybody. It sucks. And that's also where the mental side has been with me. It's like, okay, to my brain, you know, do I like them? Not exactly. I've worn diapers for 12 years. I have incontinence. I have absolutely zero feeling in my bladder. Currently, I'm having zero feeling in my bowel. Um, but I have nerve damage from the 14 surgeries I've had on my intestines and in my abdomen. And 12 years ago, wait, hang on. Is it 30? So I think it's 13 years now. Yeah, we're coming on 13 years. Um, there are many people who wear them willingly, for coping mechanisms. Um, I have a feeling you're not actually going to be respectful of the people, so I'm not going to get into the topic a ton, but there are people who choose to for one reason or another. Mine started off as not a choice. It's still not really a choice, but it's become normal to me. I've been in them for 12 years now. I haven't felt my bladder in 12 years. I've been in them on and off since 2005. So this April, April 4th to be precise, is my kind of the day I completely ended up with no control. From 2005 to 2011, I had intermittent control. Well, more like 2006, because 2005 was when I was going through my surgeries, my first surgery, and that was the end of 2005. Um, and my last surgery was in April, not April, May of 2011. And it was kind of a last ditch effort of, hey, maybe this is causing incontinence. I had a cyst on my ovaries that was huge. They were wondering if that was pushing on nerves in my bladder causing the incontinence, but that was not the case. And we then found out not long after that that the nerves that tell you your bladder is full, in me, they are completely dead. And while I did not choose to be in diapers, it's my life at this point, and it's normal. It feels weird without them. But I don't know. We don't judge people for any of it. If you're genuinely interested and willing to be respectful to the community, I would explain it. But with how you've commented on things such in the past, I'm not going to really go into that because many aren't respectful of it. Hello. I'm not going by girl anymore, but hello. I have officially started my medical transition and I use he, him pronouns. What do I think of people who age regress? I personally use it as a coping mechanism, so obviously I don't despise it. I'm gonna hold this up so I can see everything. I won't make it bigger. Why won't you up here? There we go. Anyway, I will explain. It's just that I will um from certain people I will demand that there is respect. It's not everybody's thing, but the community as such has a lot of misinformation that society has toward it. But it is there's there's kinds of a few different sides of the community. They overlap in ways, and they other ways it's very different. But for me personally, I am an age regressor. Um, I use it as a coping mechanism. The world often sees it as we're a bunch of pedophiles, but that's not the case. I mean, you have your outliers of people are that are, and quite honestly, we as a community, the community as a whole of littles and ABDL and stuff like that, we shun that type of behavior. The community specifically would be that of the ABDL age regression world community. Um, there's different sides to it. For me personally, it is a completely non-sexual thing. Um, Others have a fetish for diapers. Others use it as a BDSM type of relationship. Um, I use it as a coping mechanism. Media has not portrayed this community in a good light almost ever. Kind of the first things the world heard about it was from Jerry Springer, which is just hello. It's meant to shock people and whatnot. It's meant to show the extremes and the outliers. Um, but most of the accepted people in the community do it for coping. Mm. You do see a lot of trauma victims or abuse victims in the community. For me personally, I went through some, like, I was a middle kid. I was not neglected in a way that, like, it was a situation of, my CPS should have been called or anything, but it was a situation of I was the middle kid. I naturally kind of got left out of things. Um, my world changed when my little sister was born, and then with all the medical stuff that has gone on, age regression has been a way of being able to manage the stress and cope with different things. So yeah, also bear with me. I am so drilled out right now. Mhm. But I will happily answer questions so long as they are done respectfully. But I won't continue the conversation if it turns disrespectful at all. But I will happily answer questions for those of you that are newer to my channel. I have, a lot lately. I've been doing like streaming of kind of life with chronic illness. I've been streaming games, things like that. So a lot of you didn't come to like the newer people haven't come to my channel for what it used to be. I started this channel out as a educational channel for those that dealt with incontinence or dealt with family members who had incontinence. I did a lot of product reviews, um, helped, you know, people find products that work best for them, help, give tips and tricks on managing incontinence in general, like stuff like that. Um, about a year into my channel, I did start talking about the age regression side of things for me. I got a lot of backlash for that in the beginning. But over the last few years, with my illnesses being the way they are, it's kind of dwindled on that to some degree. And also because, you know, there's there's a lot of products I could review. However, I am on a freaking fixed income. I'm on disability and I can't buy things, to do reviews on. In the past, I used to work with companies a little bit more on them providing products for me to review. No, the diapers are purely disability. Am I used to them now? Are they just a part of my life? Yeah. But they've always been my disability. Um, would I have used them for that? Would I have gotten into them at all if it wasn't for the incontinence? I do not know. Um, but no, they are purely like I'm used to them. So would I be like, do I sit here and go, I despise them? No, they're my underwear. Um, and so it's normal for me. I do wear the printed, more ABDL themed diapers because they function better. Because the ABDL community puts so much effort into how they work, um, it's far superior to anything medical. Do I have an address? No, I don't give out my address. Um, The only time I've given out my address is to actual companies. And all of the companies that my address has been given to was companies that I personally also ordered from. There was just a couple of times where they're like, "Hey, we've seen your videos. Would you mind if we sent you some stuff to review? Like we've seen that you use our products. Would you be willing to try out new ones and things like that, and then review it for us?" But those were companies that are actual companies, well-established companies that I've used. I've had an Amazon wish list in the past. I don't currently have one set up. Um, will I put it on there some point? Yeah, maybe. But as far as like products for review that I do, I don't really use Amazon for that because honestly, they're the most expensive way to get them. Going straight through the company is a lot better. Especially for somebody of my size. Like I'm in an XL diaper, and those are not as commonly available on Amazon and things like that. So I don't particularly have those on my wish list or anything like that. But no, huh? Okay. Orange chicken isn't supposed to be that spicy.
Spicier.
Oh.
Like they're on the spicier end.
So like
Chicken than white chicken.
that would explain why they work a little bit as pizza roll then. But
It's good though.
yeah, no, I'm just funky stomach. I ate a cinnamon roll because my tube was trying to be digested, but I think there's an animal hanging around outside my window at night or something. Thank you. Because Leo is just keeps going under the desk and literally just meowing at the wall, sniffing. Like I think there's a
There was something wrong.
yeah, not in the wall, but like hanging outside.
No, it's probably in the wall because it's outside.
No, I've not.
It wouldn't come back one of the times I let the dogs out. The dogs can reach right there.
I know, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't come there. There's nothing. Trust me, it's not in the wall. If it's in the wall, you will hear it. But yeah, I don't just give it out to everybody. In the future, if I decide to do a PO box at some point, maybe. But I don't give out my address to people. Mm-mm. I don't. I have heard nothing. Trust me, I've lived in the country before. If you have rats and mice in your walls, you will hear it. There's been no crawling in the wall. Yes, but you're by the attic. He's also just a weird cat and chooses weird places to lay. I have fabric over there, so yeah. No, trust me. If your rat bucket outside or something. Uh, a rat. What? Hang on. You can't see that because the stupid thing is yeah, rat bucket. Okay. I mean, yeah. If we had an issue, we don't have a rat issue so much. If anything, it would be a mouse or a squirrel. We it could yeah, a mole, but it could be that I don't. There's not been any evidence of rats or mice for that matter. And if there were, we would have mouse and rat poop, and I would be seeing it over there if that was the case. And there's nothing there. But it could be that there was just an animal outside last night because he's just doing this today. He did discover the under the desk the other day, but he laid down and took a nap. Today he's just like meowing and sniffing, and I don't know, like now when we did live, we've lived here for a few years, and when we first kind of moved in, um, our house upstairs has the only access to the attic for the entire building. And it's not a finished attic. It's not a usable attic. It's just like, yeah, where all the ductwork and stuff is up there. Um, we had a situation where we had squirrels getting an event that's on the side of the building and getting into the walls, and it smelled horrible because one died up there, and we had to trap them basically and get them out. Not we, but the apartment complex did. They had a guy come in, and then he put like this thing on the put this thing on the house so that like they could like kind of be trapped a bit. But I grew up in the country and I'm used to that. We had things die in our house regularly. Even a single mouse will make it smell horrid. But if there were a problem with it, it would be very evidently noisy. However, if, for example, there was an unneutered cat walking around, marking around outside, the cats can still smell that basically through the wall. They still know when there's been something by their house like that. If it keeps up, it's a situation I would kind of monitor a little bit more. But yeah, but, sorry, I don't like to do a ton of talking while my roommate's down here because she's a nosy twerp. Yeah. Hmm. So, those of you who know this, but I have a paralyzed stomach. I am on a feeding tube. I have two tubes actually. I have a G tube and a J tube. The J tube goes into my intestine where it feeds me, and the G tube is in my stomach, and we use that to vent and drain my stomach so that I don't vomit so much. But because anything I eat and drink does not get digested and pushed through my system properly, sometimes little bits get through, but we're talking like maybe 100 or 200 calories a day type of thing that gets through, if that. But I do still obviously have the cravings. I still get thirsty, even though I'm getting all the hydration I need through one through my IV and then through my feeding tube. We run water. It's currently flushed water through the tube right now. As you can see, it's clear. Normally, there's a like a tan formula that goes through there. But so I do drink things like I primarily drink juices because it's flavored and fun. Water tends to give me some allergic reactions if I drink certain water. I can only drink. Uh, we have a reverse osmosis filter, and I usually have to stick to reverse osmosis waters. Even all of those don't. I don't have the ability to drink. But anyway, I can drink some juices, and I like Capri Suns. And I don't get them very often because they're kind of expensive. Um, but I picked up some Pacific coolers, and the really cool thing is they partnered with Nintendo and Animal Crossing, so they're cute because Animal Crossing is cute. I haven't touched Animal Crossing in like a year, but it's still adorable. It's still a fun game. But yeah, I'm nauseous. It's been a nauseous couple of days. So, um, but yeah, I think I'm gonna get, unless anyone has any more questions, I'm probably gonna get off here soon and take a nap. Um, watch some TV or something. I don't know. For next month, I need to subscribe to Paramount Plus so that I can watch Star Trek because I need to finish Picard and I need to catch up on Discovery. I need to watch Strange New World. Um, I have so much Star Trek to catch up on; it's not even funny. So, also Survivor's on there, and I like Survivor. I have, I think, two seasons to catch up on. I'm not sure if it's two or one season to catch up on, but I've seen pretty much every Survivor episode. So yeah, that's kind of what's up. Um, Brain is so foggy right now. Ugh. I've only been up since about 9:30. No, 10. But unfortunately, I woke up to an allergic reaction and had to take a shit ton of Benadryl, and now I'm tired. So it's just gonna be a chill day. It's gonna be a chill day today. I was planning on cleaning my room because I did a bunch of sewing projects a couple weeks ago, and I'm not a clean as you go type of person when it comes to sewing, so I've got to clean up my room a bit. Um, get it cleaned up, get it vacuumed so that I can do diaper changes in here instead of out in my living room. I'm really kind of like, to be honest, I'm very nervous that this whole bowel incontinence is going to be permanent. I don't like that idea. Here's my roommate texting me. Let me guess, it's a TikTok. It's a photo. 99-cent scoops. Yes. We just got a Baskin Robbins in town. It opened up on the like February or something like that. And but they're doing their grand opening, like their official grand opening on the 23rd. First 31 guests will receive a free scoop every week for a year. And so yeah, Baskin Robbins is yummy. It's nice. We have a couple of like we have a mom and pop type of ice cream shop here, and it's don't get me wrong, it's amazing. It is the best, some of the best ice cream. But things like that are expensive, and so is Baskin Robbins. Quite honestly, it's not cheap. But I don't eat ice cream very often, so it's not my favorite. I have an allergy to the cold. Like if the weather's cold, if it's snowing, like if snow is on my skin for very long, I break out into hives from it. If I'm out in the cold, I get itchy from head to toe, break out into hives. And if I eat cold things, like really cold, like ice cream type of deal, um, my uh, mouth and throat get really funky. I'll cough like crazy. Um, basically, my throat starts to try to swell up a bit. It's nice. It's lovely. Gotta love mast cells for that. But 23rd is 99-cent scoops. Yeah. And I'm the gastroparesis person who gets just one little scoop. It's really funny with my one roommate because he does a lot of the cooking and meal preparing, and I don't typically like I don't eat normal meals. I have certain foods that I can eat that drain well if I chew them correctly and stuff. Like I can eat yogurts, I can eat puddings, um, a few candies I can eat, vegan gummies I can do, a little bit of chocolate here and there. I can do ice creams, like soft foods I can do okay, but um, I eat very small amounts, and my roommate has not adjusted to that yet. He's still basically like when I ask him if I can have some of the dinner, he'll make a whole freaking like if they do chicken breast or something, he'll make a whole chicken breast for me. And like really all I needed was a couple bites. I don't need an entire chicken breast. Um, but I will split it up and eat it over a few days. Sometimes I'll sometimes what I with the drain it enables me to eat and drain and then I don't have to deal with the throwing up. I do have to deal with the pain to some degree, but the throwing up is not so bad because my drain takes care of it for the most part. But it's really funny because he'll bring me just a normal portion. And mind you, he does big portions. And I'm trying to work on him and get him to understand that if I say I want some of the spaghetti or some of the pasta and sauce or whatever, I mean, give me like 10 noodles and I'm good. He brings me a whole bowl. And I'm like, it ends up being, I hate that because then it wastes it. It's like I can't consume all that. Even with a drain, I can't consume it. That level of it because I will throw up. Because the drain for liquids, it goes pretty quickly, but for actual food, it takes a lot more time. So it's like, funny enough, I also can't eat normal pasta. I have to have gluten free because gluten free pasta breaks down because there's no gluten holding it together. So it's a lot easier to break that down than gluten's. Um, I can like bread wise, I can only do like some sweet breads and things like that. I can't do like bread because it gets goopy and gluey in my drain and it won't drain. And then I throw up. And throwing up when you have tubes is not good because it can dislodge them. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I am gonna go ahead and go take a nap. Um, because this Benadryl is kicking my butt because of the mast cell activation syndrome. I have a massive amount of antihistamines that I take. I take 4 times the dose of Claritin a day. I take 4 times the dose of Zyrtec a day. I take God knows how much the dose of Benadryl. Um, and I also take Pepsid, which is technically a heartburn medication, but it is also certain types of heartburn medications are histamine 2 blockers. The other ones do histamine 1. The Pepsid does histamine 2. And so I take that. I'm supposed to take all these medications twice a day, except for one. And a lot of times I don't get a morning dose in because either I wake up, late or I forget. And the main bread and butter medication that I take is a nighttime dose, and I never forget that one. So, but I do often forget my morning doses, and today was one of those days where I took it. I had to take Benadryl when I woke up because I had hives all around this thing. I had scratched most of the dressing off in the night, so I had to change it out. So histamine and the Benadryl right off the bat this morning. So I'm exhausted. Dog, can you get out? I know the gate's open, but don't, don't. You guys want to see our dog? One of our dogs? Come here, Lyrica. Come here. This is Lyrica. Hey, don't mind my messy room, but this is Lyrica. We think she is a Caucasian Shepherd Husky mix. She's huge. She's like 95, 100 pounds. She's giant. She's a little bit of a stubborn twerp, but she's a good dog. Like, she's a good dog. She just has some issues that my roommate who owns her has not worked on properly. She's got a lot of anxiety. Oh, baby. Yes. She's a sweet dog, though. Like, to us, she's very sweet. Oh, you want Simon. He doesn't like you. Leo likes you, but Simon does not like you. But she's just turned 2 this winter, this January, I believe. So she's just hitting that not a puppy stage. Leave him alone. I know you want to play with him so bad, but he does not like doggies. Leo does. Leave it. Yeah, you gotta leave it. She keeps coming in here because the cat toy is on, and she likes the cat toy. I also don't have my gate shut. You can see the gate over there. It's shut because I came through with coffee in the hand. Speaking of which, did I ever finish? I did not. It's cold now, but I like iced coffee. Anyway, guys, yes, I drink coffee. I don't get the effects of caffeine anymore because I drain my stomach. But I still enjoy the taste of coffee, so I still drink a cup of coffee every day. It's yummy. I miss the effects that it had on my headaches. That's for sure. Um, Caffeine is one thing that really keeps my headaches at bay. I have had migraines since I was about 8 years old. And caffeine was I started drinking coffee at 13 because the doctor was like, you need to be getting some caffeine to help the headaches. And here we are, 20 years later, and I'm still drinking coffee. 25 years later, more than that actually, but whatever. I still drink my coffee, but I drink it a lot less than I used to. Back when I was in college, I would probably go. I spent too much money on Tim Hortons in college. I would get a cup of coffee several times a day. In between every class, I'd go get coffee. My sister worked at the Tim Hortons near my school, so I would always go in there and hang out with her during breaks. I knew all the people that worked there, so we just, I'd always be there at slow time, so we could just kind of hang out. But I drink way too much coffee. But now I don't. I sadly had a very fast caffeine detox, mind you. Don't do that. But I didn't have a choice. My body had just finally stopped digesting everything, so I went on a feeding tube, and I don't have the effects of caffeine anymore because it gets drained out of my stomach. And no, I cannot put coffee through my feeding tube. That is a no. Could I put, for example, a caffeine pill through my tube? Probably, if I crush it. But I don't particularly do anything like that. No alcohol, no caffeine, nothing but formula, meds, and Pedialyte go through my feeding tube. A lot of people are like, "Oh, if you want to get drunk, just put it down the feeding tube." That's actually extremely dangerous and can kill you. Because the way your digestive tract works, it starts in your stomach. Well, I mean, yes, it starts in your mouth, but it starts in your, you start really processing things in the stomach. And that removes the things that are dangerous in your intestine. And when you're going straight to your intestine, your body gets more full effect quicker and hits all at once. Whereas if you're digesting something, it's just pushing small amounts through at a time. This just gives it to be full force, which is one reason why I get so loopy on the Benadryl. It hits hardcore real fast. It's not a gradual, it's just like a boom. So that's why it's extremely dangerous to put alcohol and coffee and things down the feeding tube without monitoring from the doctor. So anyway, I'm gonna go actually before I go take a nap, try to send a message to my nutritionist because I need to get a can I put it down my tube conversation going for fiber to help bulk up my poop because no colon. Blech. But I'm gonna go ahead and go. Um, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for those of you who are respectful in the conversation that we were having. Um, I do not mind answering questions so long as it is done respectfully and responses are respectful. Um, those of you who are not part of the ABDL community that have talked about it, if you want some research, if you want to do some research on it, be careful with it because we deal with a lot of hate, and the media has portrayed us in a very, very, very poor light, with a lot of speculation and information that is not correct on why the community is the way it is, why we do these things. But if you're interested in actual research, there are places I can point you to if you are genuinely interested in it and learning about it. I'm happy to supply information on it. I have done some videos in the past on my channel about it. If you want to go look there and kind of learn what it's like for me, then feel free. But be respectful. I will delete comments that are not done respectfully. I will delete comments that are making fun of other people. But there is content for it. If you're genuinely interested, I'd say just go back to some of my older videos and I talk about it. Q&As, things like that. So anyway, I keep saying I'm gonna go. I am gonna go this time. So I will see you all later. Have an awesome day. Um, hopefully I'll be back to more normal streaming. Now that we're kind of through this whole tube thing. So, quick update for you all on testosterone and where we are 1 month late into testosterone. Then I'm gonna go. So last Wednesday was my 5th shot, so it was 4 full weeks on T. Because I wasn't on T till I started my first one, and then 4 weeks. So this week will be 5 weeks. Where am I at currently? It's hitting my voice in the least fun way. my singing voice is currently shot. I sound like a dying frog half the time right now. Um, there's just a lot of cracks in my throat, a lot of voice cutting out because those vocal cords are changing. Um, so it's exciting but annoying at the same time because I love to sing, but I'm also really that type of person who I'm very picky about the singing. I wasn't professionally trained in singing or anything, but it was a very big part of my life. I did get training on different things. So for me, when I'm sounding like that, it's really hard for me to enjoy it. Um, so yeah, but we are definitely there is definitely some voice dropping going on, especially as my voice gets more tired. It tends to be lower. Pretty much for the first month, um, kind of feel like you're on that verge of having a cold. You know, your throat's a little bit sore, but it's not like pain. It's just irritated and sometimes itchy and feels weird. We're kind of in that phase right now. Um, right now my voice is kind of tired. I've been talking a lot. Usually by the end of stream, my voice is exhausted, so I start to have kind of weird sounding voice. It's been a battle of knowing whether I'm having voice changes or anaphylactic reactions going on because it somewhat mimics it to a degree. Because a lot of times when I start to get issues with my anaphylaxis, where my throat's swelling and closing, it makes it, sound really, my voice goes in and out. It sounds, it cracks, different things. So it's been a toss up of figuring out, is this something that's going to turn into an EpiPen situation or is it just testosterone? So it's a lot of like, hey, let's try some Benadryl and see if that improves it. But all in all, the side effects are almost non-existent. Like I've not had any, like not really mood swings or anything like that. No really adverse effects. Um, the main thing where we watch with testosterone, especially for me, is my liver numbers and my red blood cell count because testosterone can cause the opposite of anemia, where you have too many red cells. Thankfully, I tend to be anemic, so testosterone is just bringing me to a normal level. So far, fingers crossed it stays that way. So far, there's no like I had blood work done in the hospital. Everything looks good right now, so I'm not too worried about it at all. We're not seeing it in blood work that there's any problem. Now we will have my blood work in 2 months. So I do it every 3 months for the first year. And I think after the first year, they drop to like every 6 months or something like that. Or I don't know. For the first 6 months, we do every 3 months and then we do the 6 months. I don't know. But yeah, as far as other things go, the main thing that you would see is like facial hair and bottom growth. Those of you who do not know, yes, things grow down there when you're on testosterone. Um, and there's definitely been, to some degree, there's been some minor changes physically down there, but not so severe. When you go on testosterone, it can cause like atrophy of the different parts, and thankfully, I haven't dealt with that yet. Um, so yeah, fingers crossed it stays that way because the ways they treat it are not necessarily a way I can do. So, um, but that's going pretty good. I think we're seeing my fat structure change a bit. Um, Not drastically or anything like that, but I am noticing like it feels like I'm losing weight as far as how everything's fitting, but the scale isn't showing that. So we're definitely having some, um, fat turning, not turning to muscle, but redistribution of fat, building of muscle and stuff like that. So, and muscles heavier than, so the weight shift not changing much would indicate that that's what's going on. But my first month on testosterone has been very good. I have no problem doing the shots myself, which is nice. I worried about that a little bit, but I have had to give myself shots at home before when I had a blood clot in my lung from COVID. I had to be on a blood thinner injection twice a day. This is nothing compared to so easy comparatively. But when I was on the blood thinner, my entire abdomen was like one big bruise constantly, and medication would lump in there, and it was scary and awful, and I hated it. But this is nothing like that. It's so much easier. But yeah, so that's kind of what's up. Anyway, now that I have done that, now I am officially getting off and going to bed. Going to take a nap. I'm not going back to bed, but I'm going to go take a nap. Technically, yes, I am going to bed. Basically, I'm going to turn on YouTube or the TV and just let it play while I take a nap. That's my definition of nerd. Um. So yeah, thank you guys for coming and hanging. Hopefully, in the next couple of days, I will stream again. I want to be able to stream like Power World and Minecraft and stuff. However, I'm on a Minecraft kick at the moment. Um, and the server that I'm currently playing in is not my server. Nor but Chloe and I do have a Discord server for us and a couple of friends, so I would have to stream from that. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what's up. I'm hopefully going to be, if I do stream in the next couple of days, it'd probably be while I sew or while I work in my room, if I can get the energy to work in my room, because we've got 5 weeks till Chloe comes, and I would like to have this room decent for when they get here. Mind you, we're going to have to work on the other room too, but hey, such is life. We're going to be moving all of my craft stuff out of this room into that room so that this is our living space and it's not crowded up by, well, we'll sort of have to keep my medical supplies in here, but all the craft stuff's going to head out there. And hopefully we can bring one of the dressers in here and stuff like that. But I am so excited. I cannot fucking wait for them to get here. It's getting harder as the days draw closer. Like, even though it's easier and we know, hey, in a month's time, a little over a month's time, you're going to be here. We're going to be together. We're going to live together. We're going to have the snuggles daily. We're going to have the interaction in person all the time. That is going to be amazing. But we're now in that period where we're almost 2 years into this relationship, and it's just so hard not being with each other. Especially this week with where my mental state has been. I've needed my partner. I've needed the snuggles. I've needed the kisses and hugs, and we can't, because we're an ocean apart. So I'm really, really looking forward to them returning to the U.S. Those of you who do not know, my partner is a U.S. citizen currently living abroad in Sweden and in Malta. Well, they've been living in Sweden and Malta. Currently, they're in Malta, and we are moving in together on the 25th of April, and I couldn't be more happy. Neither can they. We cannot fucking wait for this. We've known each other for about 2.5 years, and we've been dating for, I think April will be 20 months. So just over a year and a half, and we're done with the distance. We're so tired of it. We are so ready to live together. And I am just so happy. This has been such a healthy relationship for me. And here I go again, rambling when I need to go to bed. This is what happens with Benadryl brain. I just ramble. All right, I'm officially doing it. I'm officially logging off and going to bed because my voice is dead. Um. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I will see you hopefully in a couple days. Bye bye, guys.